Good evening and welcome back to Wonderlic Field for the second half of our Pac West Soccer doubleheader. The women's teams from Chaminade and Menlo put on a show for us to start the day, and now the men's teams will take their place here on the pitch in Atherton, California. I am Kyle Morrison. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening on the Pac West Network. Menlo comes into this game. Well, they're having a great season. 10-3 on the year, 4-2 overall in conference, and they are a team that have some postseason hopes. They defeated Dominican 3-1 this last weekend. They now have won 5 straight games, have the Oaks of Menlo College. On the other side, well, it has been a different story for Chaminade. They come in 1-8-1 on the season, 1-5-1 on conference, but their one win came just a couple days ago against Westmont back at home. In fact, it was this last Saturday. They defeated the team from Santa Barbara 4-3. So Chaminade, despite the fact they only have one win on their ledger so far this year, that one win was in their last game. So Chaminade feeling maybe a little bit of momentum as they get ready to take on one of the best teams in the Pac West in Menlo College. All right, folks, let's give you the starting lineups here for both teams. First for the visiting Chaminade Silver Swords. In goal will be Jonah Valmonte, then the midfielder Owen Malone, then Hunter Santoski, Owen Saba, Mason Hugh, Kavai Nui Anderson, Caden Maderos, Vlad Tomutio, Kali Duncan, Remo Merlo, and then Minas Kara Uyis. That's the starting lineup for the Chaminade Silver Swords. For the Menlo College Oaks, it'll be the usual goalkeeper Martin Fiala. He'll be back in the net. David Stuber, the defender. Isak Hokafer, one of the top scorers in the Pac West. Roy Rosenberg, Davis Bugman, Johan Mendoza Aguiar, Jose Chicha Garcia, Giuseppe Segala, Donald Holliday, Tyler Mays, and Hugo Few. Menlo is wearing their blue jerseys with white sleeves. They are going left to right up against Chaminade, who is wearing their white jerseys with gray stripes in the front and blue numbers. Looks like Menlo's going to start off with the ball here. It'll be Chicha Garcia who will get us started on a beautiful evening here in Atherton. Some of the clouds that we saw earlier in the day for the women's game, well, they are all gone. We got a little bit of a chilly breeze in the air. Just a perfect atmosphere and perfect weather for these two teams to play 90 minutes of the beautiful game. Off the kick, Chaminade here with first possession as they run down the far sideline, and that gets kicked out of bounds. So Chaminade will get the first free kick of the day here. And now Chaminade's going to actually throw it in here on the far sideline. Again, Chaminade winless up until last weekend when they took down Westmont, which is not a small feat. Westmont, a solid team. Battle for the ball over by the end line, and this is going to go Chaminade's way. So their goalkeeper, Valmonte, will initiate play here. Menlo at 4-2 in the conference. They currently sit in 6th place in the Pac West Conference. So Menlo right now on the outside looking in for the Pac West tournament, but they're right in it. Only 2 points behind Hawaii Hilo for the 4th spot in the Pac West Conference. So Menlo, these games mean the world here to the Oaks. For Chaminade, they are not at the bottom of the conference. Jessup is at the bottom of the conference with only 1 point. Chaminade with 4 points. They find themselves third to last in the conference. The team they just beat, Westmont, 1-6-1, despite the fact they have a much better overall record of 5-8-2. After losing to Chaminade, they are now behind Chaminade in the Pac West Conference. Point Loma, one of the top teams in the nation, currently leading the Pac West Conference at 6-1 in conference, 10-3-1 overall, followed by a pair of Southern California teams in Concordia Irvine and Vanguard, and then Hawaii Hilo, Fresno Pacific, and Menlo, the first two out of the Pac West tournament right now. All that to say, the Oaks would really like to win this game, and they should win this game against the team that has struggled so far this season, but never discount the Silver Swords or any team that you play in the Pac West, a conference with all kinds of parity and all kinds of moving parts. This ball on the far sideline is thrown in. Sagala across the field to Holiday. Holiday over towards the near sideline. This is popped in the air by Aguiar. And it'll go out of bounds. So Garcia will throw it in. Shadows from the trees behind Wonderlic Field beginning to protrude onto the playing surface right now. It's kind of a patchy display of sun and shadows. Rosenberg fighting for the ball over there on the far sideline, and it goes out of bounds. Rosenberg will get it back. Back towards the midline to Stuber. Stuber, one of the top players on this Menlo team, someone that they really trust in many different situations. Someone that head coach Keith Lambert trusts quite a bit. That goes out of bounds. Aguiar. I believe that's him throwing it in. It's not, though. Throw in towards the bodies in front of the goal. And it was actually Aguiar who got taken down there by the Chaminade defense. He had an opportunity and an angle if he could have stayed on his feet. Ball is headed just short of the box. And we're going to get a injury timeout here, as falling to the ground was Remo Merlo. So Merlo falls to the ground. Stuber gets a warning, and now Stuber is going to initiate play. Stuber over to Boogman. Mays across the field to Sagala. Sagala drops it off for Stuber. Stuber down the near sideline looking for Holiday. It's actually going to be taken in by Hokafer. And an opportunity there for Rosenberg, as he had a clean look at the goal off the header, but he heads it just over the top crossbar there on the goal. Menlo, any statistical category you look at, this team is one of the elite teams in the Pac West. First in goals scored in the Pac West at 34. Their offense is electric. Third in goals allowed at 17. So not only can they score, but they are very good at stopping their opponents from getting into the net. They've allowed half the goals that they have scored. You look over at the Chaminade side, and it's a much different story. Chaminade, only 5 goals scored this season. That is last in the Pac West, so they have really struggled putting the ball in the net. And then you look at their defense. Not horrible, but not great. 24 goals allowed. That's middle of the pack in the Pac West at 6th. This ball is kicked down the field and then kicked high in the air over around the end line here. Garcia trying to make a move. He kicks it towards the net, and that'll roll out of bounds. A little over 6 minutes gone here in the first half. Once again, thank you so much for joining us here this evening on the Pac West Network. Kyle Morrison jibber-jabbering about soccer here this beautiful Thursday evening. Valmonte getting ready to kick this away, clad in orange for Chaminade. This ball kicked down the field. Both teams exchanging possession. Well, Menlo definitely favored here in this game. They need the points. And against a team that's been struggling like Chaminade, they should get these points, especially here at home. Looking around the Pac West, Concordia with a very convincing win over Biola yesterday. They defeated Biola 7-0. Point Loma defeated Azusa Pacific 2-1. Vanguard beating Westmont 6-1. Hawaii Pacific is playing Dominican today in a game that doesn't really matter in the playoff scheme, considering on those two teams' positions. And then this weekend, all kinds of big matchups across the conference that affect Menlo. Biola taking on Vanguard. Hawaii Pacific will be here in Atherton to take on Menlo. Point Loma will be taking on Westmont. And then a huge game, Concordia Irvine will be taking on Fresno Pacific down in Fresno. Fresno, of course, the first team out of the Pac West tournament right now. And then Concordia sits in second place in the Pac West, but all those teams very bunched together. So lots to still be decided as we get to the end of the soccer season. Should be very exciting as we figure out what the Pac West playoffs are going to look like here in the year of 2025. This ball deep on the Menlo side. Stuber with it right now. Stuber, high arcing kick down the field. This is headed in the air by Santoski. Battle for the ball. Chicha Garcia gets to it. Gives it off to Aguiar. A little two-man game. Back to Garcia. Here on the near sideline. Garcia trying to make a man miss. Gives it up to Sagala. Sagala up to Aguiar. Aguiar back to Holiday. Holiday back over to the midline for Stuber. Stuber with some open grass. Up to Garcia, and that's taken away by Chaminade. Tomutio playing the defense there. And we're going to get a throw in here for the Silver Swords. Chaminade, the hosts of the Maui Basketball Invitational. They make their home out in Honolulu. A long way to get out here to California, although most of their road trips are very long, except for when they take on Hawaii Pacific and Hawaii Hilo. Garcia with a nice pass there as he was trying to find his teammate Few. This ball just short of the box. Garcia with a shifty move. He's going towards the middle of the blocks, gets hammered there as he gets taken down by Maderos. But Garcia quite confused there as he thought that he was going to get a foul call on Chaminade. Instead, a whistle goes the Silver Swords' way. Valmonte will do the honors here on the goal kick. He pops this one in the air, deep towards the Menlo side. Stuber chasing after it. He's in a race with Merlot. And this ball goes out of bounds. Past the end line. So I think this is going to be a goal kick. It will indeed be a goal kick for Fiala. Looking at both the head coaches here today. On Chaminade's side, Joshua Woodard, in his 5th season as head coach, the 9th head coach in Chaminade history, he has only won 4 games in his entire head coaching tenure at Chaminade. One of them coming last week. So it has been a struggle for Woodard. He was an assistant at Hawaii Hilo before coming to Chaminade, and he's a hometown kid from the island of Oahu. and now coaching the Silver Swords, but only 4 wins in his entire career as head coach of Chaminade. He's been coaching full season since 2022. His first season in 2021 was obviously fairly decimated by COVID. Chaminade played in a Hawaii-only version of the Pac West as Holiday gets this one over towards the Chaminade end line, and he gets pushed out of bounds. Holiday, incensed, feels like he should have gotten a call there, puts his hands on his head, falls to the ground again, and now he'll get back on defense. Valmonte with the goal kick. So Woodard, safe to say, he has not had the 10 years so far that he would have wanted. Last year, this team went 1-10-3. Did Chaminade. On the Menlo side, Keith Lambert, their head coach, men's soccer coach since 2017, coached the women's team from 2013 to 2016 as we get our first corner kick of the evening here. Hugo Few is going to take the corner kick over on the northeast side of the field. Few looking at the slew of bodies in front of the net. Puts up his left hand. This ball's popped up off one of the many heads in front of the net, and it'll go out of bounds. Looks like it was off a Menlo head because Chaminade will get a goal kick. Lambert, who earned his 100th victory as a head coach here at Menlo College last September. So he is definitely highly accomplished in his career here in Atherton. Previously worked at Cal State East Bay and Humboldt. Now Cal Poly Humboldt, was once Humboldt State. And he played his soccer in California for Cal State, San Bernardino, and Humboldt. So Keith Lambert, one of the great men's soccer head coaches here in the history of the Oaks. And today's a big game for Lambert and his squad, not only because they want to get into that Pac West tournament, but also because last year they went 10-4-3, and if they win today, it'll be their 11th win of the season, which means they will have improved from last year. Always a goal for every coach. Garcia trying to find a hole here, passes into a slew of Chaminade defenders, and now Chaminade's coming back the other way. This ball's given right back to Stuber. Stuber up to Aguiar. And Aguiar is going to kick this one back towards Fiala. Fiala's going to take it. Fiala wearing green as the goalkeeper. And Fiala is going to pop this one up past the midline. Goes off of a couple heads before ending up at the feet of Stuber. Stuber finding some open grass as he shifts towards his left. Passes over to the left side of the box here. This is Rosenberg. Rosenberg back to Stuber. Stuber with a line drive kick with a little too much leg as he kicks it over the net. And so Menlo with a shot opportunity there. And with over 15 minutes gone in this game, we are still tied 0-0. Menlo running Chaminade off the ball here. They give it back to Valmonte. So far today, early in this game, Menlo with 3 shots to Chaminade's 0. Neither team with a shot on goal yet, as we're just a little over 16 minutes through the first half of this one. Right now, Chaminade, very early, but up to the task of battling this very good Menlo team. Holiday is going to throw it in here. Holiday down the near sideline. Hokefer back to Holiday. Menlo being very methodical as they go back into the backfield. Boogman. Back to Fiala. Fiala line drive kick. towards the Chaminade goal. It's headed away by a Chaminade defender. Rosenberg doing a nice job of tracking it down. Gives it back to Garcia. Garcia across the field, and Garcia is going to draw a whistle. So free kick upcoming here from Sagala for the Oaks. Sagala getting ready to take this free kick. He's about halfway between the midline and the goal. Lambert trying to make sure that his team is set up exactly the way he wants. Sagala puts both hands in the air. Arcing kick towards the net. Stuber with the header towards the bodies in front of the goal. Just couldn't find anybody in blue, but that was a nice look from Stuber. Taken away by Aguiar, and then that is taken away by Santoski. This ball kicked down the field, battle for it. Aguiar up to Boogman. And this will go out of bounds, and then a little extracurriculars out of bounds as Garcia fell to the ground off of a hit from Santoski. Garcia may have been acting a bit. Sagala just short of the midline. Boogman over to Mays. This ball pushed forward. This is Hokefer. Hokefer across the field to Aguiar. Aguiar tried to put it up in the air to find one of his team's heads. But nice hustle here as Mays gets back to it. Mays is getting grabbed all over the place. This ball is left and a collision in the air. Chicha Garcia is just colliding through bodies. Sagala gets it back. Sagala towards the goal. And this will be brought in by Valmonte. So Valmonte with the save there. All kinds of chaos on that last possession. Just a bunch of collisions in front of the net. Valmonte with the goal kick. This ball on the near sideline. Chaminade really hasn't had the opportunity to create any sort of prolonged offensive possession, which their numbers this season will show you that they do definitely struggle on the offensive side. Valmonte with Garcia starting to breathe down his throat. He gives it up to his teammate. A little two-man game here as Valmonte will pop it up into the air. Short kick. Chaminade just desperately trying to get this ball over to the Menlo side. You can tell this Oaks offensive pressure just building, and building. And now Chaminade gets in. They're just going to clear it away here. Race for the ball is won by Menlo, and there's a whistle as that foul will go against Merlo. Merlo with some nice sportsmanship there as he helps Boogman up to his feet, and Boogman will take the free kick. He'll give it off to Stuber. Stuber up to Few, back to Stuber. And Menlo's taking their time. Looking at the goalkeepers for these two teams, first on the Chaminade side, Jonah Valmonte, out of Poolesville, Maryland, a transfer from Robert Morris before the 2023 season. As this rolls past the end line, and we're going to get a corner kick here for Menlo. Garcia is going to do the honors. We'll get back to Valmonte in a second after we see what happens here. And we get a whistle. Looks like we're going to reset and do it again, as Garcia will go back into the corner. Keith Lambert was imploring his team to hurry up down the field, trying to get some pace. Garcia will now tie his shoe and get ready to usher in another corner kick. Garcia looking at the field in front of him, both hands in the air. Hits this one in the air towards a bunch of white jerseys. Ball going off a few heads. Popped in the air here by Mays. And a whistle. It's going to go Menlo's way. Again, the Oaks just continuing to knock on the door here. And they're actually now going to give it up to the Chaminade goalkeeper, Valmonte. As I was saying about Valmonte, he's allowed 7 goals in his last 2 games. At least 1 goal allowed in every game this season. That's not a great formula when your offense is only scoring 5 goals a game to be giving up at least 5 goals the entire season to be giving up 1 goal a game. However, you look at a lot of his numbers, and he's having a fairly good season. His 11 saves on October 23rd were the most of any goalkeeper in the Pac West this season. As a whistle, and Giuseppe Zagala went down hard. He was holding his head. The training staff is out to take a look at him, and it looks like he'll be all right. So now a little bit of a debate over who should have possession. As they're giving Zagala some time here to get looked at. And it looks like Zagala will be okay. Trainer's going to come off the field. So both teams think they should have the ball. We'll see who they give it to here. Referee just kind of standing with the ball, not really giving us any hints as to who he's going to give it to. And it's going to go to Chaminade. So Garcia runs off. It's going to be Duncan who takes the free kick here. And he'll give it back to Valmonte. So Valmonte, 11 saves on October 23rd, the most in the Pac West this season. 3rd in save percentage in the Pac West at 70.6%. He's also 1st in saves per game at 5.33, and he was 1st in saves per game last year as well at 4.91. So Valmonte, a lot of times when you see those 1st in saves per game statistics, yes, is it a good thing that the goalkeeper is making a lot of saves? Sure. But it's also a sign that the defense just has been letting a lot of things go past them and go to the goalkeeper. As Stuber, who was trying to find Aguiar, but Aguiar fell down. We're over halfway done here in the first half, ticking down towards 21 minutes to go. Aguiar has that ball kicked away. Rosenberg trying to track this one down. And Mays, just in front of the midline, has it taken away there. Nice play by Chaminade. And a whistle offsides as Merlo got a bit of a head start. Zagala back to Stuber, and Stuber over to Holiday. So that's Jonah Valmonte. You look at the Menlo goalkeeper, Martin Fiala. Fiala, 2nd team All-Pac West in 2024. He was 2nd in goals against average last season. He was the Pac West Defender of the Week last week, was Fiala. 2 weeks ago, Fiala was the Pac West Defender of the Week. And he's 1st in save percentage in the Pac West at 73%. Rosenberg pressing this ball up towards the goal. Aguiar gets it. Aguiar back to Rosenberg. Rosenberg makes a move. Rosenberg with a nice pass there for Few. And Few kicks it over the net. Chaminade's going to bring on a substitution here, as Michael Olberger is going to come on to the field. He comes on for Saba. So Owen Saba will come off the field. Less than 20 minutes to go here in the first half. This ball kicked out of bounds over on the far sideline. Mays is going to throw it in. Off the chest of Few. Few tries to play around with it there. Give Chaminade some credit. I mean, they come into this game as clear and very, very extreme underdogs to this Oaks team. Yet through more than 25 minutes of play, they have held strong here against this Menlo College attack. Now, if they can do this for another 60-plus minutes is another question, but as of right now, the Chaminade team has hung in there pretty well. And, if you're Menlo, I mean, obviously you're going to have to beat every team that you can no matter what the scenario, so this is no excuse. But if you're Menlo, you're facing the Chaminade team, probably the worst time you could possibly face them in the entire season, coming off their only win so far. So the Chaminade team, obviously with more confidence than they've had for the entirety of this season up till now, as this ball goes out of bounds. Holiday is going to throw it in. But before the throw in, we're going to get some substitutions. Tim Schwartz is going to come in for Menlo along with Oliver Meyer. For Chaminade, they are not going to bring on their substitutions yet, but Jedediah Griffin will come on along with Gio Aceves. This ball over deep on the Chaminade side. Garcia gives that one up. Good defense there from Chaminade. Sagala tracks it down. Sagala pops it up in the air towards Garcia again. Holiday is going to track this one down off a deflection. Sagala back to Stuber, and Menlo is just going to reset here and do it again. This ball on the far sideline gets kicked out of bounds, and this will be Oaks' possession. So a couple of substitutions here for Chaminade. This free kick, this goal kick coming from Valmonte. Silver Swords just kind of dribbling and passing the ball around here in their backfield. This is lofted down the field, down the far sideline, and kicked out of bounds. Mays will throw it in just short of the midline. Now he'll walk to the other side of the midline. And it'll go out of bounds again. So Mays moving this ball up the field. Menlo getting ready to bring in another substitution. Here comes the throw in towards the slew of bodies in front of the goal. This is a nice little angle here. Okafor had a angle. He had a defender on him that he was posting up basketball style. But he was unable to get around his defender and get in front or face up on the net. Okafor is going to come off here for Parker Faith. Also coming into the game for Menlo is Herstrom. So Haynes Herstrom comes into the game here for Menlo as this ball goes out of bounds. Well, the Oaks, the best offensive attack in the Pac-West this season. And right now, Chaminade is standing up pretty tall. Over 30 minutes done here in the first half, and we are still tied 0-0. Now, the one thing that is not working in the Silver Swords corner is that they have not been able to create any offense of their own. A lot of this game has just been them kind of hanging on, trying to keep Menlo out of the net. At some point, the Silver Swords are going to have to create some offense if they want any sort of a hope of not just winning this game, but also tying this game. I mean, theoretically, you could just defend your heart out for 90 minutes and keep Menlo out of the net and get out of here with a 0-0 tie. But that's not usually very realistic. If you're on defense the entire game, it is just exhausting. And eventually, the law of averages, if you keep on allowing your opponent more and more opportunities, something bad is going to happen. And so, like they are now, Chaminade really needs to get out of their own side. Just take some pressure off of themselves. Throw in coming here from the Silver Swords. It's going to be Hugh who will actually give way now to Olberger. Olberger getting ready to throw this one in. Deflects off a Menlo defender, and this is popped in the air towards Fiala, so a shot there for Chaminade. That was Anderson with the shot. And Menlo will get the ball back. A little less than 13 minutes left here in the first half of play. This ball is kicked away by Valmonte. Again, Chaminade just hanging on here on defense right now. Some big collision there as Karayuiz took out Mayer. Both teams fighting for it. Fiala up to Stuber. Will either side break through before this first half is over? We saw in our first game of the day, in the women's game, Chaminade scored their only goal of the day in the final 2 minutes of the first half. We'll see if either of these teams follow a similar script. Here's an opportunity. Faith up to Segala. Segala on the right side of the box. Segala pops it up. Garcia has it. Garcia towards the net and into the net. Chicha Garcia to the right side of the goal. He puts it in the net. And Garcia, one of the top scoring options on the Oaks squad, picks up his 5th goal of the season. And so Jose Chicha Garcia gets Menlo on the board with a big goal to open things up here for Menlo. Garcia, after getting his 5th goal of the year, will come off the field with a hero's welcome as he gives way to Manuel Portillo. So Menlo finally breaks through here, and now we'll see if the floodgates have opened. Another Menlo attack. Faith gives it back here. And this is going to go out of bounds, and it'll be a corner opportunity for the Oaks. Here comes the corner opportunity as we tick down towards 11 minutes to go. It's going to be Segala who takes this corner. As this ball goes out of bounds. Garcia's 2nd goal in 3 games. He scored last against Westmont on October 9th. He did not play in Menlo's game against Dominican. But he comes back here today. First game in 12 days, and he gets himself into the net. This ball is rolling out of bounds as Stuber kicks it out of bounds. Well, now Menlo's in a very good spot. Up 1-0 with a little over 10 minutes left to go in the first half against a team that has struggled to score all season long. Obviously, the Oaks are still going to want to put some more in the back of the net to feel even more comfortable. But as is, this is a good position for the Oaks to be in, especially when you consider all the momentum the Chaminade felt like they were building by just staying into this game. And now as I say this, Chaminade's got an attack coming the other way. And a collision there as Holiday just takes out Teixeira, who had just come onto the game for Chaminade. And this goes out of bounds as Kara Yuis kicks it out of bounds. Foul will go Chaminade's way. Kara Yuis, a very interesting player in the Pac West. He's actually 30 years old, is Kara Yuis. Kara Yuis, who last played college soccer for Queen's University in 2019 before this season. He's a graduate student at Chaminade, and he had eligibility left. So he comes out of retirement after a 6-year hiatus, and he is now on the Chaminade team. And he is at least 7 to 8 years older than almost all the rest of his teammates. One of the fun little aspects of NCAA athletics. Stuber getting ready for this free kick. I remember a couple years ago when J.R. Smith, the former NBA star, in his late 30s actually joined the North Carolina A&T golf team. I don't know how good he was at golf, but he was a college athlete once again. Somewhat of a similar example to what's happening here with Chaminade. Clock ticks under 8 minutes to go. And we get a clock stoppage. As something's going on that the referees are trying to figure out. This is a throw-in. Just to the right of the corner. It's going to be Mays who throws it in. Mays towards the slew of bodies. Battle for the ball. Ends up with Portillo. And now this ball is rolling towards the near sideline. It's kicked towards the midline. Stuber's going to track it down. Stuber up to Segala. Segala back to Holiday. Holiday. Up to Mays. Mays back to Holiday. Holiday to Stuber. Menlo taking their time in the backfield right now. As this ball is going to roll out of bounds. And limping away a little bit there was Faith. So Faith kind of favoring, excuse me, that's not Faith, that's Herstrom, who was limping away a little bit. He's favoring that right knee, it appears. Here comes a Menlo substitution as Joe Archer is going to come in the game for Segala. Segala gives Menlo some good time out there. Less than 7 minutes to go here in the first half. And this ball is going to roll into the hands of Valmonte. Valmonte rolls it forward, gets it back. Can Chaminade create offense? At this point, that's the most pressing question in this game now with Menlo taking the advantage. Can't create it there as Archer gives it to Holiday. Holiday down the field. And this is hit up in the air by Duncan. Aerial duel here is won by Menlo. Archer has it again. Archer behind the midline to Stuber. Stuber across the field here to Boogman. Boogman up the field to Mayer. Now this is Mays. Mays trying to find some space. Ends up getting deflected by Chaminade defenders. And that's going to go out of bounds. Once again, 1-0 here as we come up on the 40-minute mark. You look at the team stats and everything you can think of right now being dominated by the Oaks, as was expected coming into this game. Two teams on opposite ends of the Pac West standings. This is Faith. Gives it to Holiday. Holiday on the right side of the box. Looking inside the box. Faith had an opportunity there. He gets taken out by Chaminade defenders. Faith on the ground. And looks like we're going to get a goal kick here from the Silver Swords. Valmonte with the goal kick. A little less than 5 minutes remaining here in this first half. I was talking about all the stats that are being dominated by the Oaks. Menlo not only with the 1 goal and 1 assist, but 8 shots to 1 for Chaminade, 3 shots on goal to 1 for the Silver Swords. Chaminade's fouled more, 5-3. And Chaminade has faced 8 shots to Menlo's 1. So Menlo definitely with the upper hand here in this first half, as there's a whistle. It's going to be a foul on Kara Uyes. And so Kara Uyes is going to get whistled for the violation as he took out Parker Faith. Faith kind of holding his core. Hope he's okay. Obviously, he felt like there should have been more of a extreme punishment there on the Chaminade side. As is, a little less than 4 minutes to go. Portillo is going to do the honors here on the free kick. Lambert asking Portillo to overhit it. Bit of a shorter kick that gets headed towards the net. It was Herstrom with the header opportunity, but it goes right into the hands of Almonte. Battle for the ball around the midline here. Chaminade coming out with it. Santiscoy over on the left side of the box, and this goes out of bounds. Less than 3 minutes to go. And Chaminade's going to get a corner kick. So this is a big opportunity here for the Silver Swords, who have struggled to create offense all day long. Medeiros with the honors here on the corner kick. Everyone getting gathered around in all their prescribed positions. Medeiros puts his right hand up. High kick. Fiala knocks it away. Portillo has it now, and he's got space. He's running down the field. Kicks it towards the net. And that is brought in there by Valmonte. Portillo took a chance there. Valmonte was a long ways out of the net. And so Portillo thought there was maybe a chance for kind of a long shot, pun intended, as he sent it towards the net from beyond the midline. Archer back to Holiday. Less than 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. Stuber in the backfield gives it back to Fiala. Fiala up the field to Boogman. And Boogman sends it down the far sideline. Kara Uyes kicks it away. And they're going to call an offside here on the Oaks, as they say that Faith got a bit of a head start. Kara Uyes getting ready for this free kick. Kara Uyes down the field. And this is going to end up at the feet of Faith of Menlo before popping away here.
1 minute remaining.
And this is kicked out of bounds by Mayer. Lambert imploring his team to stay focused here and try to get one more opportunity at the net. Less than 50 seconds to go. Mays is the one who will throw it in. He's waiting for everyone to get situated. He throws it towards the box. And this is headed away by a Chaminade defender. And it goes out of bounds. So there will be another opportunity here for Mayer. Less than 30 seconds. He gives it up for Holiday. Holiday is going to throw it into Archer. Very short. Archer up to Mayer. Mayer battling for the ball. Portillo just pops it up into the air. 10 seconds left.
8, 7,
And this
6,
ball
5,
is popped away. And a whistle for an injury, and that will end the first half. So Mayer went down to the ground there at the very end. And the first half is over. Menlo up 1-0 off of a goal from Chicha Garcia. Jose Chicha Garcia picking up his 5th goal of the season. We'll be right back after this quick halftime break. When we do come back, we'll give you a little bit of a preview for what's going to come in the second half, but that'll happen in over 12 minutes as we let this clock run a little bit on the half. Once again, Menlo up 1-0 on Chaminade here at Wonderlic Field in Atherton, California. Thank you so much for joining us on the Pac West Network. This is Kyle Morrison. Hope you stay tuned for more soccer action here after the halftime break.
Menlo College is a small, private four-year college that focuses on the art of business and the entrepreneurial economy. Located in the heart of Silicon Valley, we offer degrees in business and psychology. With a student body of 800, Menlo students enjoy a tight-knit community while also appreciating the richness and diversity that bigger universities offer. Our 14-to-1 student-faculty ratio provides plenty of individualized attention. Beyond the campus, Menlo is just a few minutes away from San Francisco, where excitement, culture, and plenty of job opportunities await. Our students come from all over the world to learn leadership, critical thinking, creativity, team building, and the science of behavior. The Department of Athletics strives to complement the Menlo College experience by developing future leaders through its intercollegiate athletics program. The Department of Athletics has quality athletic programs and maintains a talented and driven coaching staff that recruits student athletes who display leadership skills, strong character, a commitment to academics, and a high level of athletic skill. Menlo College is a small, private four-year college that focuses on the art of business and the entrepreneurial economy. Located in the heart of Silicon Valley, we offer degrees in business and psychology. With a student body of 800, Menlo students enjoy a tight-knit community while also appreciating the richness and diversity that bigger universities offer. Our 14-to-1 student-faculty ratio provides plenty of individualized attention. Beyond the campus, Menlo is just a few minutes away from San Francisco, where excitement, culture, and plenty of job opportunities await. Our students come from all over the world to learn leadership, critical thinking, creativity, team building, and the science of behavior. The Department of Athletics strives to complement the Menlo College experience by developing future leaders through its intercollegiate athletics program. The Department of Athletics has quality athletic programs and maintains a talented and driven coaching staff that recruits student athletes who display leadership skills, strong character, a commitment to academics, and a high level of athletic skill. Menlo College is a small, private four-year college that focuses on the art of business and the entrepreneurial economy. Located in the heart of Silicon Valley, we offer degrees in business and psychology. With a student body of 800, Menlo students enjoy a tight-knit community while also appreciating the richness and diversity that bigger universities offer. Our 14-to-1 student-faculty ratio provides plenty of individualized attention. Beyond the campus, Menlo is just a few minutes away from San Francisco, where excitement, culture, and plenty of job opportunities await. Our students come from all over the world to learn leadership, critical thinking, creativity, team building, and the science of behavior. The Department of Athletics strives to complement the Menlo College experience by developing future leaders through its intercollegiate athletics program. The Department of Athletics has quality athletic programs and maintains a talented and driven coaching staff that recruits student athletes who display leadership skills, strong character, a commitment to academics, and a high level of athletic skill. Menlo College is a small, private four-year college that focuses on the art of business and the entrepreneurial economy. Located in the heart of Silicon Valley, we offer degrees in business and psychology. With a student body of 800, Menlo students enjoy a tight-knit community while also appreciating the richness and diversity that bigger universities offer. Our 14-to-1 student-faculty ratio provides plenty of individualized attention. Beyond the campus, Menlo is just a few minutes away from San Francisco, where excitement, culture, and plenty of job opportunities await. Our students come from all over the world to learn leadership, critical thinking, creativity, team building, and the science of behavior. The Department of Athletics strives to complement the Menlo College experience by developing future leaders through its intercollegiate athletics program. The Department of Athletics has quality athletic programs and maintains a talented and driven coaching staff that recruits student athletes who display leadership skills, strong character, a commitment to academics, and a high level of athletic skill.
Coming at a half here in Atherton, California, as Menlo College and Chaminade get ready for the final 45 minutes of their Pac West contest. Once again, thank you so much for joining us here this afternoon. I am Kyle Morrison, and Menlo with the 1-0 lead. They dominated almost every aspect of the game in the first half. They had possession 67% of the time. And then you look at the shots, 10 shots for Menlo, 1 for Chaminade. And so Menlo definitely with the upper hand in that first half of play. The 1 goal from Jose Chicha Garcia as he picked up his 5th goal of the season off a great assist from Giuseppe Segala. So Menlo trying to finish off a win here. Again, the Oaks need all the points they can get in the Pac West as they battle to try to get into the Pac West tournament. Right now, they are in 6th place in the Pac West, which puts them 2 spots off of the requisite top 4 that it takes to make the Pac West tournament. But 3 points here today would do a lot for them and their hopes. Aguilar having that ball taken away. Well, the Oaks already in a very good position when you consider just the sheer offensive challenges that the Silver Swords team faces. They have a very hard time creating offensive opportunities. As this ball is headed out of bounds. Throw in coming here from Mays for Menlo. This ball is headed up in the air. And it goes out of bounds past the end line. So we're going to get a goal kick here from Valmonte. It's a nice fall evening, a little chill in the air. Enough to make these Californians complain about the cold. And I'm sure the Hawaiians as well. But in the overarching scheme of weather and the very definition of cold, it actually is quite nice. Ball just short of the box. This ball deflected out by Boogman. Garcia serves it to Hokafer, who gives it to Rosenberg. Rosenberg trying to find Hokafer on a cut, and that's going to go out of bounds past the end line. Valmonte will retrieve it, and he will get a goal kick. Over 2 minutes done here in the second half. Again, 1-0 Menlo as we come out of the halftime break. If Menlo is able to get the win here today, and again, there's a long way to go, but obviously a game they feel like they should win. Menlo will be 11-3 on the season and 5-2 in the conference as Fiala is going to retrieve this one before anything weird happens by the Menlo goal. One of the most fascinating and I think miraculous parts of the Menlo College ledger, no ties so far this season. That's incredible in a game like soccer where you have some teams who have like 6 or 7 ties on the season. Just a sign that the boys on this Menlo team are very decisive. They are very decisive individuals as this ball goes out of bounds past the far sideline. Segala back here to Mays. Mays up to Rosenberg. Rosenberg with a series of moves. Back to Mays. Segala right in the center of the field. Pops it over to Rosenberg. Rosenberg on the left side of the box. Gives up to our Garcia. Back to Rosenberg. Over to Mays. Mays back to Rosenberg. And this ball is kicked away towards Segala. Segala over to Garcia. He's already got 1 goal today. Garcia trying to make a few guys miss. Over to Segala. Back to Garcia. Over to Rosenberg with a nifty move. This ball is headed in the air. Segala off of Rosenberg. Off of a Chaminade defender. Back to Segala. Menlo taking their time. Few. Over to Mays. Mays lining up his defender. Gives it to Rosenberg. Rosenberg into Garcia. Garcia pops it up looking for Mays. And that'll be finally kicked away there by Anderson. But Menlo gets it back, but this one will be brought in by Valmonte. So a nice little sequence there for the Oaks as they try to put their second goal into the net. If Menlo is able to win this game, they will jump Fresno Pacific in the standings. And they will still be behind Hawaii Hilo, but only 1 point behind Hawaii Hilo for the fourth spot in the Pac-West standings. Hilo has played one more conference game than Menlo has. This ball is kicked up the field for Hokafer. Hokafer trying to win that race, but Chaminade is able to get rid of it. Menlo keeps possession, though. Segala on the right side of the box. Segala looking for an open man. Collision in front of the box, and there's a whistle as Chaminade's going to get possession. The referee called the ball dead, but Chaminade tried to get a free kick off very quickly there. Referee puts a stop to that, and so Chaminade will have to set up and take a kick where Menlo is able to also set up and get ready for said kick. Kalai Duncan does the honors here as he gives it back to Valmonte. And Valmonte and Duncan playing a little two-man game right now. As I was talking about, Hawaii Hilo, 1 point, would be 1 point ahead of Menlo if Menlo is able to win this game. Menlo will be playing Hawaii Pacific for their next game. That'll be on November 1st, so on Saturday here at Wonderlic Field. Hawaii Pacific, no team to snooze at. 6-5-2 on the season as this ball is hit towards the goal, and Aguilar puts it right into the hands of Almonte. So the Menlo College offensive pressure continuing here early in this second half, which is exactly what you want if you're the Oaks. Even if you don't score anything, if you keep the ball on the Chaminade side of the field and you don't give Chaminade a chance to score, then you have a pretty good shot of coming through with a win, considering you already have a 1-0 lead against an offensively challenged opponent. Hawaii Pacific is going to be a much harder opponent for Menlo. Only 3-4 in the conference, but 6-5-2 overall in the season. They are a team that has been very competitive. And not to say that the Oaks should be overlooking Chaminade right now. I mean, hey, it's still 1-0. Chaminade could, get a nice roll, and all of a sudden they're right back in this game. But this is a game that Menlo was highly favored to win in the first place. Hawaii Pacific, they will still be favored, but Hawaii Pacific is not going to be one of those teams that people look at as a true bottom feeder of the Pac-West. Hawaii Pacific is a team that can compete with anyone in the conference. But first, Menlo's got to win this game as they continue their hunt to try to get into the Pac-West tournament. This is Aguilar. It's going to go out of bounds. Aguilar thought that might have gone off a Chaminade defender before it went over the end line, but that's not what the referees saw, as we'll get a goal kick here from Valmonte. Meanwhile, for Chaminade, this weekend, they'll be taking on Jessup, and Jessup is one of only two teams with less points in the Pac-West standings than they have. So Jessup, who only has 1 point in the Pac-West standings, will be taking on Chaminade up in Rockland later in the week. An example of two games with much different sets of circumstances at stake for the teams involved. This ball goes out of bounds. Few over to Stuber. Stuber pops this one up over the midline. Menlo getting the ball back here. Mays here on the near side. And Garcia just can't quite handle it. And so Garcia will kick it out of bounds. And Chaminade will get possession. Throw in here from Chaminade by Anderson. Again, can the Silver Swords create offense? Only 5 goals this entire season. That is the worst in the Pac-West. Rosenberg Looking to try to get into the box here. Looking around, gives it up to Few. Few, a nice pass back to Rosenberg, and didn't quite have the angle there as he pops it over the net from the left side. Holiday heads this one out of bounds, and Chaminade will get possession. Coming up on 10 minutes gone here in this second half of play. Menlo still up 1-0 here in this Pac West Conference matchup. Once again, a big game for the Oaks as they continue their fight to get into the Pac West tournament, which would be a big deal for this Menlo College team. This is a Menlo team that won 10 games last year. They had a very successful season last year in their first year in the Pac West. If they win today, they will beat that mark. But interestingly enough, because it was Menlo's first year in the Pac West last year, they were ineligible to be in the conference tournament. So Menlo, who went 8-1-2 in the conference last year, actually a better record than they have right now in the conference at 4-2, did not play in any postseason. This year, they are eligible to play in the postseason. And I'm sure Keith Lambert would love to show the rest of this Pac West what they were fortunate to miss out on last year in the postseason. This ball is popped up and into the hands of Valmonte. So a free kick there that just didn't do what Keith Lambert was hoping it would do on the Oaks side. Rosenberg has that ball taken away by Chaminade. And this ball goes out of bounds. Bad kick there from Saba. So Menlo will throw it in. It'll be Mays. Mays puts it into Rosenberg. Rosenberg with a nifty kick there to get it to Hokafer. This is down the field for Few. Few's got an angle here. Few with a move. Few puts it towards the goal, and what a save by Valmonte. Reached out with his right foot. A prayer there, and he's able to stop that ball from going in the net. Now Chaminade's coming the other way. Holiday gets pushed to the ground as there's a whistle. And so Holiday is going to be helped up here. Nice sportsmanship from Merlot. Well, that was a scary sequence there for Menlo and for Chaminade for that matter. As if Valmonte had a bit of a smaller foot size, that ball might have gone in the goal. But Valmonte was able to reach out that foot and keep it from going in the net. And then Menlo, they had Chaminade breathing down their neck on the other side, a little bit of a leak out on defense. But the Oaks do a nice job of recovering. And this ball goes out of bounds on the far sideline. Throwing it in here is Santos Coy. Sagala over the midline. Down the field to Rosenberg. Rosenberg gives it up here to Few. Few battling there towards the corner. And he's getting pushed around there by Anderson. Anderson with some very physical defense. Sagala gets the ball back here. Sagala towards the net. And it's brought in by Valmonte. Valmonte with another save here for Chaminade. As Yap Teixeira is getting ready to come in here for Chaminade. Well, Menlo has definitely been putting on the offensive pressure here in the second half as they did in the first half. Now 7 saves for Valmonte of Chaminade. Valmonte, who had 11 saves on October 23rd, which was the most this season in the Pac West. Right now, 4 saves short of that mark. So Valmonte's been working very hard back there in the net for Chaminade. Silver Swords with possession here as they cross the midline. Santos Coy is going to reset here. Back to Valmonte. Valmonte to Karayuyis. Karayuyis on the ground. Up to Tomutillo. And nicely taken away there by Few. Gives it up to Hokafer. Hokafer a little too long there for Aguilar. And Aguilar kicks that one out of bounds. There's the horn, which means we'll get a substitution here for Chaminade, as Yap Teixeira is going to come into this game. So Yap Teixeira, the sophomore out of Pukalani, Hawaii. As you'd expect, a major percentage of players on this Chaminade team are from Hawaii, but actually there are quite a few players from California as well. I would say it's about evenly split between Hawaiians and Californians for the highest representation on this Chaminade team. Throw in here. Holiday up the field. And this ball's rolled on the ground by Chaminade. Kicked ahead here for Tomatillo. Tomatillo up the field. Nicely deflected by the Menlo defense. Garcia runs into a wall of defenders. We got less than 30 minutes to go here in this game. We're 2/3 of the way through this match here between Chaminade and Menlo, as this ball is kicked out of bounds by Merlo. Merlo, who's been hustling all over the field. He's impressed me with his hustle. Fiala with a short little kick here to Boogman. Boogman up the field. Karayuyis kicks it towards the speakers here around the officials' table. I'm sure Allie was really hoping that one of her speakers didn't get taken out there. And it's a good sound system, I must say. They play house music here before every game, and I feel like I am at a house party when I hear the house music. Hokafer. Back to Stuber. Stuber across the field. Nice looks here for Mays. Mays to Rosenberg. Back to Mays. Mays across the goal. Aguilar gets to it. Menlo very upset about something, as we got a player down here for Menlo. Chicha Garcia has it. Garcia trying to kick it towards the goal. Gets deflected by Chaminade defenders. This is left for Aguilar. Aguilar towards the goal is just far left. And it rolls out of bounds. Mays was the player down. He's limping around. Looks like he's going to get substituted for here, as Menlo is bringing in 3 substitutions. Tim Schwartz is coming into the game, along with Hans Herstrom. And the other substitution is Mayer. So Mays limps off the field. Hopefully he's okay. Few also comes off the field along with Aguilar. So Menlo getting some fresh bodies onto the pitch here with 27:30 left to go in the game. Valmonte, a little short kick to Karayuyis. Chaminade dribbling this ball around in the backfield. Karayuyis pops this one up off of Rosenberg's foot. Ball being dribbled around. Still in the backfield here. Holiday giving chase. Stuber now has it, and Stuber is going to give it back to Fiala. Fiala up the field to Herstrom, and this goes out of bounds. On the Menlo side, a lot of California players and a lot of European players on the Menlo College team. Menlo, a very international school. You'll find people here from all over the world. Is Olberger getting ready to come back into the game here for Chaminade. Ball rolls past the midline. Well, in the first half of our doubleheader, I talked about how I discovered the sandwich spot here on the Menlo College campus. Well, I must now declare in the second half of our doubleheader, I discovered something that even some of the people who work here at Menlo did not know about, and that is that they have a latte machine in the student store. And that is definitely helping me through the second half of this doubleheader right now. And so I am going to credit myself with bringing joy now to many of the people in this Menlo athletic department with my newfound discovery. I feel like a pioneer in the coffee space as I have discovered this great coffee machine that exists in the student store. And with many games upcoming for me here at Menlo, I am sure I will be taking advantage of it many more times from here on out. Chicha Garcia with the corner kick here. He kicks it up towards the slew of bodies in front of the net. Off a head and off a leg of Menlo. This ball is popped up in the air. Sagala is going to let this one go out of bounds. And they're saying that it's out of bounds off of Chaminade. So Menlo will maintain possession. Another near goal opportunity there for the Oaks. Rosenberg with a move. And this is going to go towards the left side of the net. Deflected off of Sagala, off of a Chaminade leg. Stuber has it. Stuber with a little sneak attack opportunity. Chicha Garcia gets it over on the far side of the field. Garcia lofts it towards the goal, and off the head of Mayer there, I believe. And that goes into the hands of Almonte. Excuse me, that was Schwartz who had the almost goal for Menlo. Coming up on 24 minutes to go here in the second half. Rosenberg heads it up to Mayer. Mayer to Rosenberg. Back to Rosenberg off of a Chaminade deflection. Rosenberg in front of the box, and he has it taken away by a pair of Chaminade defenders. This ball rolling towards the Menlo side. They're going to call a foul here that stops play as there was a Silver Swords player down in the backfield. I think Chaminade was quite frustrated by that because they had a bit of momentum moving towards the Menlo side. And for a team that's offensively challenged, they need as many offensive chances as they can get. So we're going to get a free kick here for the Silver Swords. This clock is winding down still towards 23:30. Well, the Oaks still in a good position, being up 1-0 on Chaminade, but you could tell Menlo College, they're a little confused right now as to why they're not up by more. I think they definitely feel like they've created enough opportunities to score more than one goal. But as of right now, Chaminade, if they can get something going, they're still in this thing. This ball down the far sideline. And that goes out of bounds. There's the air horn. And we're going to get a couple of substitutions, one for either side, as Olberger is going to come into the game for Chaminade. Parker Faith about to come into the game for the Oaks. So Faith comes in for Hokefer. And Hokefer, the captain, comes off the field. We're coming up on the halfway mark here in the second half. We're at 22:40. Throw in here for the Silver Swords. Kicked up into the air. Rosenberg's going to track it down in his own box. Rosenberg looking down the field, trying to find someone. He gets it back, kicks it up the field, and this is up for Mayer. Mayer unable to corral it. Back for Faith, and this goes out of bounds once again. Here comes the throw-in. Rosenberg looking down the field, gives it up to Garcia. Garcia over to Mayer. Mayer back over to Rosenberg. Rosenberg to Garcia. Back to Rosenberg. Battle for the ball on the near sideline. Rosenberg somehow keeps possession. Gets into the box. Rosenberg trying to find a teammate. Can't find anyone on the initial look, but Garcia gets to it off a deflection. Garcia up in the air towards the goal, and that is knocked away there by Valmonte, and then off deflection by the goalkeeper. It gets kicked over the fence, out of bounds, and into the neighborhoods here in Atherton. 21:30 remaining here in the second half. Valmonte, a little short kick here. Who gives it back to Menlo. Well, the good news is for the Oaks, I mean, even if they don't score again, if they just keep possession, they're going to win this game. So keeping possession is the most important thing right now for Menlo. And as I say that, Olberger has it for Chaminade. He presses it up. This ball is down the field, and a whistle is called. As Yap Teixeira had a bit of an opening, he punches the left crossbar in frustration, as he obviously felt like he had a golden opportunity there to break away and possibly score the first goal of the game for the Silver Swords. Garcia on the near sideline, over towards the box. And Rosenberg, excuse me, that's not Rosenberg. Silly me. That's Schwartz who kicks it out of bounds. But it was off a Chaminade defender, so now Garcia is going to get a corner kick. Garcia getting ready for this opportunity. Puts it up high in the air, a high lofting kick off the head of Stuber and off the top crossbar. Bounces over the net. Valmonte saying he didn't touch it. Menlo is looking for another corner opportunity. They think Valmonte tipped it, but the referees are going to give it back here to Chaminade. 5 corners in the game now for Menlo, as we have less than 20 minutes to go here in the game. This game's still very close, closer than the Oaks probably think it should be. I mean, you look at all the stats. Chaminade only has 1 shot in this game still. Menlo is 21. Menlo is out shooting Chaminade 21-1. They have 9 shots on goal to 1. And they have 5 corners to 1. So this game has been totally dominated by the Oaks, yet it's still 1-0 on the scoreboard. If Menlo can put 1 more in the net, then they probably put the nail in the coffin here for Chaminade, as this long kick barely misses going past the end line, as Herstrom does a nice job to save it. And we're going to get a whistle here. And it's going to be a goal kick for Chaminade. We'll give the Silver Swords credit, whether it's luck or grit or a little bit of both. They have stuck in this game at 1-0 for a lot longer than I think a lot of the pundits may have thought coming to this game. Rosenberg past the midline. Chaminade behind their side of the midline. Give it right back to Menlo. Sagala back to Holiday. Up to Herstrom. And now Chaminade with it. Tomatillo. Up to Anderson. Anderson over to Saba. Saba taking his time as he gives it back to Olberger. This is as prolonged of an offensive possession as we've seen the Silver Swords have in a very long time. And they give it right back to Menlo. Garcia breaks some ankles there. Pushes it up to Sagala on the left side of the box. Sagala barely missing getting it back. That's cleared away by the Silver Swords defense. Again, Chaminade, they've been playing almost this entire game on their own side of the field. Stuber gets it. He throws it in from the far sideline. Fiala. Kicked up by Boogman. And Mayer sees this one go out of bounds off a Chaminade defender. Mayer in no rush, taking his time. Less than 17 minutes left to go in this game. Rosenberg. Into Sagala. Sagala pops it up across the field. Holiday just in front of the midline, and he gets contacted there by Yap Teixeira. And so Holiday will quickly set the ball up and kick it. This is Boogman. Boogman up the field to Garcia. Garcia with a man-to-make miss. Now he gives it up to Mayer. Mayer on the left side of the box. Towards the goal. Kicked away by Karayuyis. Segala gets it back. Segala off the foot of Olberger. Mayer is going to reset it here as he gives it back to Stuber behind the midline. Stuber pops it up deep down the field. Fight for the ball, and it'll end up in the hands of Almonte. Well, again, if Chaminade can't get any sort of a coherent offensive possession going where they actually get towards the Menlo box, well, then they have no hope either way. But they do deserve credit for the fact that they have hung in here despite the fact they have been down 1-0 since the latter stages of the first half. Rosenberg fell to the ground. He was contacted by Olberger, and Olberger is going to get a yellow card. So Olberger with the first yellow card of the day as he's arguing his case to the referee. The referee not believing it. Boogman down the field to Mayer. Mayer back to Stuber. Stuber in a dangerous position, but he's able to clear it. Segala, and getting grabbed very clearly there was Faith. No call. Garcia on the left side of the box. He gives it up to Mayer. Mayer towards the net, and that's over the end line as he kicks it a little too long from the left side of the goal. And we're going to get some substitutions here for both sides. For Chaminade, it's Medeiros who comes back in the game. For Menlo, it's going to be Mays, Few, and Aguilar who will come back into the game. So, Lambert making sure that he has his best team in here for the last 15 minutes of play in a 1-0 game. And very strategic that he makes those substitutions before the 15-minute mark, because when you're up, according to NCAA rules, the clock stops for every substitution you make in the last 15 minutes of the game. So Lambert trying to make sure that he wastes as much of this clock as he possibly can. Maybe waste isn't the right word. Gets rid of the clock as efficiently as he can. Maybe is the right way to put it. As this ball is going to roll into the hands of Almonte, the goalkeeper. We are at 14:30 left to go here in this Pac West contest. Again, Menlo looking for a very important 3 points here in this game that would move them up into 5th place in the Pac West, 1 spot short of the final spot in the Pac West tournament. Chaminade, who came in trying to play spoilers, and give them credit. I mean, they've been dominated for 75 minutes of soccer now, yet they have kept this 1-0. It's been a very gritty performance by this Silver Swords team. Holiday. On the right side of the box, getting hounded by 2 defenders, and this ball goes out of bounds. It's getting chillier and chillier here at Wonderlic Field. I consider myself pretty impervious when it comes to the Northern California chilly temperatures, but I must even admit that it's getting kind of chilly. Holiday is going to throw it in here on the far sideline. This ball kicked away towards the other side of the midline. Battle for the ball as Few is getting his jersey grabbed. I give Keith Lambert a lot of credit, though. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities where he could be very mad at certain calls in this game, but he has kept his cool, kept his focus on the game at hand. And look, the referees, they've done a good job. Not saying the referees have done a bad job by any means, but there's always a certain amount of missed calls in every game. But this Menlo team has kept themselves very focused on the task at hand. They have not been rubbernecking the officials all that much at all. As Holiday with a high arcing kick towards the other side of the field. Chaminade trying to get something going on offense here. If you're Menlo, you want to get back to where you were for most of the second half, where all the action is happening on the Chaminade side of the field. Chaminade in their backfield right now. Duncan past the midline. Yap to Shara. Gives it back here to Valmonte. Chaminade getting ready to bring in Alex Martinez off the bench. Martinez, the junior out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Kara Uyes pops this one up down the field. This ball is a high arcing kick that goes out of bounds on the near sideline. Martinez comes into the game here for Chaminade. As the clock will keep on rolling here because of the visiting substitution. 11 minutes left here in the half. This ball is kicked up in the air. Olberger very frustrated as he comes off the field that he got called for that foul a few minutes ago, still airing out his grievances to his coach Woodard. Stuber in the backfield, gives it to Holiday. Menlo, they've kind of lost control of this ball here, and that's very dangerous. We're only up 1-0. Whistle goes Chaminade's way, and now we're starting to feel some energy here on the Silver Sword side. Well, the Oaks, they've had control of this entire game, but they're playing a very dangerous game right now if they allow Chaminade to create more momentum over on their side. It looks like Lambert's going to counter here. He's going to bring in Keith Lambert. He's going to bring in Sagala. He's not going to bring in himself. He's going to bring Sagala back into the game, as well as Hokefer, two of his aces. 10 minutes left here in the second half. Free kick upcoming from Chaminade. This is Saba taking the free kick. He puts his right hand up in the air, kicks it towards the goal, header, and into the arms of Fiala. So again, another dangerous sequence there for Menlo. I talked about it. If Menlo could just keep the ball over on the Chaminade side, they were looking good, but give Chaminade credit. They have turned some of the momentum here. Aguilar with the ball over deep towards the Chaminade box. Good defense there from Kara Uyes. Very physical defense as Aguilar goes to the ground. A whistle, and Aguilar is definitely taking his time getting up off the ground, and why wouldn't you? Hugo Few is going to take the free kick here. Clock is ticking towards 9 minutes left to play. Few looks down the field. Everyone getting themselves situated. Obviously, the Oaks in no rush. Few puts that left hand up. Line drive kick towards the net, and it's immediately kicked away there by Medeiros. Clock will stop as Menlo brings in two new substitutions. And so Lambert is actually going to ask the substitution. One of the substitutions is held. Hokefer is going to come into the game here for Faith. So Faith comes off the field. Clock is stopped at 8:42. Menlo's going to get a throw-in. Throw-in coming in from Mays off of a head there near the goal. I think that was Stuber who almost headed it in. Aguilar has it in front of the box, looking for Mayer. Now Stuber gives it up to Mays. Mays on the left side of the box, and he kicks it out of bounds. That deflected off a Chaminade defender. And so we'll get a corner kick here for Menlo. Clock will stop again as Sagala is now going to come back into the game for the corner. He's going to come in for Herstrom. 8:15 on the clock, so a couple of substitutions here for the Oaks as they make sure they have the right personnel in for the last 8 minutes and change. Here comes a corner kick for the Oaks. Kick towards the net, and it goes over everybody, and it goes out of bounds. You can tell a little bit of frustration here for the Oaks. Obviously, they're still up in the game, so that's the good news, but I definitely think that Menlo feels like they should be up by way more than 1-0 at this moment in time. Belmonte pushes this one up the field, and it'll go out of bounds. Can Chaminade create anything on offense? Because if they can't, then all these Menlo frustrations are null and void. They'll get their 3 points. They'll get what they were looking for, although in a little bit more of an interesting fashion than they were probably hoping coming into this game. But if Chaminade can somehow draw up some sort of strike of magic here in the last 7:30, well, then Menlo's, well, they're in trouble. Stuber, short of the midline, hits this one towards the box. Hokefer in a battle for the ball. Chaminade with good defense there as they take it away. Holiday deflected there by a couple of Chaminade bodies. Chaminade trying to push it up here. Gets taken away there by Stuber. Stuber falls to the ground, and there's a whistle. And to be fair, I don't know if we should be overly surprised that Chaminade has defended so well in this game. I mean, including today, they've only allowed 10 goals on the entire campaign. And that's in now 11 games on the season. Stuber with the free kick here. The Oaks obviously taking their time. Short kick to Aguilar. Back to Stuber. Stuber up the field. Popped up in the air. Holiday has it. Battle for the ball over on the northwest corner. And this ball is popped up. And it's going to go out of bounds. Menlo will maintain possession. Clock is going to stop once again as Roy Rosenberg is going to come into the game here. Rosenberg going to come in here for Schwartz. So Schwartz comes off the field. 6:06. That's where the clock is frozen at for the moment. Ball is thrown in. Slew of bodies around the ball here. And it goes out of bounds. Chaminade will get possession. Chaminade's not going to have any more chances here. Santiscoy throws it in. Merlot fighting for the ball there. And he just throws a player aside. That was Hugo Few. He just threw to the ground. So Menlo will get the ball back. Not a good offensive possession there for Chaminade, especially considering the situation they're in. Boogman past the midline. Down the field. Mays off of a Chaminade body. Mays hustling to try to get this ball back. Chaminade kicks this one down the field. Stuber is there to retrieve it. Few, as he flirts with the midline there. Hokefer battling for the ball with Karayuyis. Both sides is kind of exchanging possession right now. Hokefer has it on the left side of the box. Hokefer over to Mayer. Mayer pops it up across the field. This is in no man's land. Chaminade will retrieve it. We're under 5 minutes to go here in the game. Holiday retrieves it. He's being chased by Yap Teixeira. Fiala with a punt down the field. Aguilar has it now. Aguilar up to Mayer. Mayer's got a bit of an angle here. Mayer in the box. And Mayer has that one deflected by a couple of Chaminade defenders. Sagala gives it up to Aguilar. Aguilar. He kicks it towards the goal, and that'll be easily knocked down by Valmonte. Coming up on 4 minutes to go. Valmonte now with 9 saves in today's game, which is And there's a goal there for Chaminade. Out of nowhere, Caleb Yap Teixeira puts the ball in the right side of the net. And only the second shot on goal of the day for Chaminade. And it is a successful one, as Yap Teixeira scores only the 6th goal of the season for the Silver Swords. His first goal of the year. And Chaminade, who has been on their heels all day long, comes through in the waning moments of the game with the tying goal to make this 1-1. Wow. Well, folks, even I was not expecting that. What a moment for the Silver Swords. What fight they have showed here today. Bending but not breaking. And now the Oaks are in trouble with less than 4 minutes to go. They need to get something in the net if they want to get their 3 points that they desperately need here in this game. Throw in with the clock waning towards 3:30 coming from Mays. Mays throws it in towards the slew of bodies in front of the net. Battle for the ball. Mayer almost puts it in, but a great stop there by Valmonte. Valmonte with his 10th save of the day. One short of the Pac West high this season. And now it's Chaminade content to let the clock wind as we go down to 3 minutes left to go. Well, folks, if you're an Oaks fan, I hate to be Mr. Doomsday, but this would be quite the missed opportunity for Menlo College if they are unable to salvage 3 points here in this match. 2:40 left to go in the half. Now, Chaminade, they're looking for the win. Ball rolling towards the Menlo side. Holiday in his own box gets pushed down there by Yap Teixeira. Yap Teixeira right now the hero for the Silver Swords. Fiala's going to try to put this ball in play as quick as he can. Clock is stopped as Yap Teixeira made contact with it there. Fiala puts the ball in play. Well, this Menlo offense is high power. They've been so all year long, so if anyone can respond to this, it would be them. But right now, you have to think the Oaks are just a little stunned with what just happened. Clock is going to be stopped here as Menlo's going to make some substitutions. Garcia is going to come back onto the field. He's got the 1 goal today for the Oaks. He comes on for Holiday. So Holiday will run off the field as Menlo is going to try to make sure that their most high-powered offensive set is in the game. Chaminade, they're going to bring in a substitution to the next dead ball if there is another one. We got less than 2 minutes to go. Stuber pops this one up over towards the left side of the field for Mayer. Mayer wins that battle. He kicks it towards the net. A whistle. Don't know what the call is here. It looks like we're going to get a free kick as Garcia gets ready to go. 1:30 remaining on the clock. Garcia getting everybody situated. Puts his right hand up in the air. High arcing kick towards the net, goes off of a couple of legs and goes out of bounds off the right foot of Segala. 1:15 left to go in this game. Clock will stop at 1:11 as Chaminade is going to bring in a substitution. Mason Hugh is going to come into the game. Menlo is going to nix their other 2 substitutions. So 1:16 left. Chaminade, who right now has left many of the Oaks supporters here in Atherton quite stunned with a goal kick here from Valmonte. Valmonte down the field, past the midline. This ball is kicked high in the air. Who will come down with it? And it's Chaminade battling for the ball around the midline. Now Menlo has it. A minute left in the game. Rosenberg kicks it up to Garcia. Garcia looking for confusion, and falling on it is Valmonte. Chaminade is feeling all kinds of great over on their bench. Goal kick coming from Valmonte. He pops it in the air towards the midline. Battle for the ball in an aerial duel. We got 30 seconds left to go. Segala kicks it down the field. Hokafer has it. Hokafer looking for an angle. This ball is a shoot away. 20 seconds to go. Menlo's going to have to make something happen in a hurry. Battle for the ball around the midline. Stuber pops it up down the field. There's nobody there. 8 seconds. 5 seconds. 3 seconds. Clock is stopped. 3 seconds on the clock. Don't know why the clock was stopped. Corner kick upcoming here from Menlo. So this is their last opportunity. The ref stopped the clock. Segala with an opportunity here with 3 seconds to go. Here comes the corner kick from Segala towards the goal. It goes out of bounds, and this game ends in a tie. Chaminade, who was dominated throughout most of this game, finds a way to get a tie here in Atherton. A team that had not won a single game till this last weekend against Westmont comes in here against Menlo College, and they find a way to steal a point from the Oaks, who needed this game for playoff positioning. And it was a huge goal at the end from Yap Teixeira that makes this game a draw. And what a game it was. And what disappointment here for Menlo. Just to give you context, folks, this game ended 1-1. Menlo had 26 shots to Chaminade's 2. 12 shots on goal to Chaminade's 2. They had 7 corners to Chaminade's 1. Almost any stat you could look at in this game would point to a Menlo win, except for the final score. And folks, that is how we will leave you here on the Pac West Network. Chaminade advances to 1-8-2 on the season. They are 1-5-2 in conference. For Menlo, they are now 10-3-1, their first draw of the season, and they are 4-2-1 in conference. The Oaks are going to have to rebound quite quickly as they get ready to take on Hawaii Pacific this Saturday here at home. Chaminade will make the trip up north to take on Jessup, a team that is actually in a worse position than they are in the conference standings. Well, folks, it didn't go the way the home team wanted, but Chaminade with a big draw here in Atherton. This game ends in a 1-1 tie. And, well, folks, there's a lot to talk about this game, but I will leave that all to the post-game prognosticators. 1-1 is our score here from Wonderlic Field. Once again, thank you so much for joining us on the Pac West Network. I am Kyle Morrison. Appreciate all of you sticking with me and listening to this doubleheader. It was an exciting doubleheader as we got 2 draws here, one in the first half and one in the second.